Hello, everybody. I am Stacie from don't even know where I'm from. Route 66 Country Music. And we have Kara from the local music scene. So,
Yeah.
as I told you guys earlier, for anyone that watched the interview I did with Dan, this interview is a little bit different. Instead of us interviewing artists, we're going to interview each other.
Yay!
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. We just decided it was time for you guys to know a little bit about us.
Yeah.
We're always asking the questions and we love doing it. Don't misunderstand. We love doing it. But we just thought it was time y'all might want to know a little bit about the women that run this. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. How you been doing, Kara?
I've been great. How have you been doing? Handling it in the quarantine?
Yeah, it's been crazy. I don't know, this quarantine is just a different
Animal. Yeah.
world.
Yeah.
Obviously, I mean, well, I was going to say there's nobody alive that's ever experienced this kind of thing before, and there really isn't. The
Yeah.
closest it's come, I guess, is some of our older generation that went through the Great Depression.
Yeah.
And so there's really nothing to compare it to. It's just crazy.
Yeah. And I think it's just cool that like we're all going through the same thing. It's
Yeah.
not just one part of the world, it's everybody. And so I
Yeah.
think it makes it a little bit easier maybe, just because we all can come together in the same light of like, we all have to get through it together instead of separately.
Exactly. And it's all affecting us for sure.
Yes,
Though it's affecting a lot of people differently,
for sure.
depending on what their career is or their financial situation,
Yeah.
or family life. I mean, so many of us have been separated from family. I mean, I
Yeah.
have a grandbaby that's 1 month old that I haven't seen yet.
Yeah. I definitely I haven't seen any of my family. We just had a new baby born last week, and
Yeah.
it's so yeah. Or I
And
didn't have a baby, just to be clear. It was my cousin.
I knew what you meant. But yeah, it's like because my daughter, and I can't blame her. She didn't want anybody around the brand new baby. And
Yeah,
I can't blame her for that at all.
for sure.
So, I'm itching to get down there and see her and just hold her. But, thankfully for modern technology, I have seen her via FaceTime, but it's just not the same.
Yeah,
Um,
and I agree. It's hard because FaceTime, it's great, and you can see the person in real time, but at the same token, it's not the same as like just being able to be there in person, and
yeah,
that's been the hardest for me. I'm definitely like a hugger and a person, and
me too.
person that likes to be and hang out with people, and yeah, so it's been difficult for me too.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's definitely me. I mean, I can see my grandbaby's name is Hope. I can see Hope on the video screens, but I'm like, I want to hold her.
Yeah, and who
So,
doesn't want to hold a baby? Babies are amazing.
exactly, exactly. Oh gosh. And I guess if the audience hasn't figured it out by now, we should let them know they're not going to be blessed with any music tonight.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, guys.
Yeah. No.
I didn't
I
prepare anything, and I
Yeah.
I think it's just gonna be talking today, guys.
Yeah, because we would lose a whole lot of followers if I sang.
Right.
Let me just throw that out there. I mean, I sing great in the shower and in the car. I
Yeah.
mean, I think I'm Kelly Clarkson when I'm going down the road. But
Me too.
that's as long as I'm by myself and nobody else is hearing it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think I sound like probably a drowning cat is the closest I can come up with.
And
So
I've always referred to myself as a dying cow. So,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
When you hear cows moo and
right.
they're you can tell if they're sick or not doing well. Yeah,
Right.
that's probably me.
Exactly.
So,
Oh
sorry,
gosh.
folks. We'll talk about music, but you're not gonna hear any with me and Kara.
For sure.
Um, but though, Kara, you do have some musical talent though, right?
Yeah, I do write music. Currently I'm writing a song that we're gonna put out on June 23rd. That's gonna be really exciting. It's my first song I've released under my name. And then also, it's the first one that's come out since I did a song in 2013. So yeah, it's definitely yeah. I'm a musician. I play the guitar. I play the drums and a little bit of piano. I'm working on that.
That's
So
cool. That's really cool. Uh,
yeah,
I anxious to hear that. That's exciting.
yeah, yeah. I'll give you some. It's called Almost Second Best. So that's the name of it. So yeah, I've been working with producer and musician himself, Xander Corbett, and then Megs McLean is gonna sing it because, like I said, I can't sing. Yeah, so we're all getting ready to gear up to get the release and um, promote it and everything. So it's gonna be awesome. I have about 10 songs that we'll probably do this year and next
Oh,
year.
wow.
Yeah, with a full length album coming out that I'm right now I'm collaborating with a bunch of the local artists to be able to get this done. So yeah, it's gonna be lots of fun.
Now, is it a mix of genres or is it one genre in specific or
No, it's a mix
a
of
mix?
everything. Yeah. So it's not gonna be I don't think it'll be anything that sounds the same. I'm trying to make it so that it's interesting to everybody.
Cool.
So I'm collaborating with a bunch of different artists that are, some are country, some are pop, some are indie, rap. So hopefully I'm trying to make it so that it'll be something that I can, showcase some of my musical friends.
That is so cool. I like that idea.
Yeah.
Hmm.
All the songs are my own and I've written them, but uh, I'm bringing in other people to help collaborate with them and make them come
Yeah,
alive with their own
absolutely.
flavor.
That is fantastic. I love that. Well, y'all are not gonna be getting any songs from me probably. I don't know though. I used to write a lot of poetry, and I'm actually a pretty good writer.
That's
Just
what starts.
yeah, but I mean, I've never like written a song, but and sadly, I used to have a book that I kept all the poetry in that I wrote,
Hmm.
and I had probably a couple of hundred.
Wow.
And I had a house fire and gone.
Oh,
So
that's a
there's
bummer.
no way I could recreate all those. I can't even remember them. Um,
Yeah.
and it's
That's
really
sad.
heartbreaking that I lost that because
Yeah.
I was pretty proud of that collection.
I
Um,
would have been so heartbroken if it happened to me. I had a water loss and it took a lot of my belongings and that alone that took a book that I had some stuff in it too and from when
yeah,
I was younger. So I don't have anything that I had any of the songs or anything I had when I was younger. But
yeah. It's
I
hard. A
totally
lot
hear
of
that.
people can't relate to a house fire unless you've had one,
Yeah.
and it's the most devastating thing. And because I lost things that couldn't be replaced. You
Yeah.
know, some of the material things, big deal. You know, thankfully,
Yeah.
everybody was fine, nobody was hurt. The material things, big deal, that can be replaced. But pictures of my kids when they were little and, that I lost, and then my poetry book. I had planned to try to have that published
Yeah.
and not
Yeah.
anymore. So,
Wow.
and that devastated me so bad. It kind of like it killed it at that time. I was like, I don't
Yeah.
even feel like writing anymore.
Yeah. I
And
probably would have felt the same.
yeah. And
Yeah.
I've dabbled in it a little bit since, but just, life gets in the
Yeah.
way and other things. And so,
Yeah.
yeah.
Of
But
course.
anyway,
Yeah.
so there's that. Um, so that's one of my little side hobbies, I guess, that I have. Um, but I guess before we get into all the other questions, let's just let everybody know how both of us got into doing what we're
Sure.
doing now. You
Yeah,
wanna
for sure.
you wanna start?
Sure. So I got into it it was a kind of a thought that I had about 10 years ago. and I just was like really hardcore in the local scene. And back then it was, I don't know if anybody knows, but there was like this Providence, and this is in Seattle. I'm in Seattle. And
Oh, yeah, we should have probably told everybody where we're at. I think they might
yeah.
know, but I don't know. Hmm?
Yeah, I'm in Seattle, where it rains all the time. Yay! So yeah, so I would just go see local shows and local bands all the time, and it's what I spent most of my 20s doing. And I was like, oh, I want to do this so I can showcase them. And then I let that go, and life got in the way. And then last year, one of my good friends, Casey, just kind of encouraged me to start doing it. It was a thought that I had brought up to him, and um, he just he was like, just do it. And he's a musician himself, and he ended up being the very first musician I ever interviewed. And he just really was behind me, and my friends were behind me, and everybody's like, yes, you should do this. And then um, my other friend Camden, he was just like, I think it's a brilliant idea, I think you should do it. And so I just, with the go ahead of some of my musician friends and other people, I decided to start it. And so I did, and I'm now about 100, I'm about 130 interviews in since
Wow.
last August.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, you're definitely way ahead of me, but you started way before me.
Right.
So, well, what did you do before you started doing this?
Oh, so I have been currently I'm a receptionist at an underwriting firm, so that's my 9 to 5. I was working in hotels for about 15 years, and I was also um a toddler teacher for about 15 years. So
Oh, wow.
yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
You have
Yeah.
way more patience than I do.
Yeah, 20 toddlers in one room is a lot to handle.
Yeah, no, I could definitely not do that. Yeah. So, people, the way we have decided to do this is I'm going to ask Kara a question, and then I'm going to answer the very same question. Together, we kind of came up with these questions and just kind of thought, what would we want to know if we were fans? So it's
Yeah.
kind of how we came about these. So if anybody's watching and we don't answer something you want to know, put it in the comments and we'll be glad to. Just if it's for both of us, just don't worry about putting a name. If it's for one of us in particular, but either it's for me, Stacie, or for Kara.
Yeah.
But so I got into this. Well, I guess I'll tell what I did before, because that kind of leads up into why I got into this. By profession, I am a registered nurse. I continue to maintain my license because it was way too much work to ever let that lapse.
Yeah.
So I continue to do my continuing education every year to keep my license up to date. Plus, I still just like to know what the newest things are that nurses are doing, and what's happening, especially in this time.
Yeah.
I miss nursing so bad. That was truly my heart's passion. And I specialized in wound care. So my husband says I am a sick person, but I just loved wound care. That was my specialty. But I think what it was about that was seeing something so bad and seeing it get better. There's
Yeah.
so many parts of nursing that sadly people don't get better. And in wound care, I could take something that was horrible and I could make this person better.
Right.
So I think maybe that's why I fell in love with that part of it. But anyway, back in, well, for many years before, I was misdiagnosed for 4 years. And but when I was finally diagnosed with a neurological condition called Chiari malformation, that knocked me out of nursing. If anybody wants to look that up, y'all feel free. That's another story. But it was just something that, I mean, I can still function mostly like a normal person, but it would just cause me to have episodes, and I can have flare-ups every now and then, that it just was not safe for me to practice nursing. I mean, you're talking about having someone's life in your hands.
Yeah.
And so it didn't make sense for me to I couldn't do that anymore.
Yeah.
So I went into a deep state of depression. I never thought I would find anything ever again that I could do, much less that I could do and love as much as nursing. And it was back in December, I guess. I actually saw this infomercial, believe it or not, this infomercial about how to become a social influencer. And I thought, I can do that. I have the gift of gab and, I can do social media. So I checked into that. And so when I started this, I was in a whole different direction. I thought I was going to be, a social influencer.
Yeah.
And I was trying to find my niche of what, I wanted to target. And I
Yeah.
was kind of all over the place to start with. I thought, I'm a nurse. I have these neurological conditions. It's going to be medical. But then I love to travel and I love music and I love sports. So I was like, I'm just going to do it all.
Yeah.
Well, you can't do it all. And so it ended up as I went along, the most attention that I was getting was in reference to country music. So I was like, okay, this is the public telling me this is the direction I need to go.
Right.
I never thought when I started it that I would end up doing country music interviews, much less working for Ryan Clark. So I'm still kind of like, wow, am I really doing this?
Yeah.
Um,
I have that epiphany all the time. I'm just like, I
yeah,
can't believe I've made so many friends and
I know,
it's
right?
become so just like a whole part of who I am. It's like my soul. And
Yeah,
I love music too. Music has always been a part of my life. And so
it's healing.
it's just really, yeah, it's just really, I too had something kind of tragic happen in 2010. And that's kind of what led me on the path also to do it.
See, that's why
And
we're such good friends. I mean, and people, y'all may not know this, but through this is how me and Kara met. We
yeah,
live 3,000 miles apart, and now we're really good friends.
yeah,
It's amazing
yeah,
how this has happened,
yeah. It's crazy to me how it's led me to just so many amazing people and to meet so many amazing people and
Mhm,
be a part of a lot of charities and a lot of things in the community. Like I really enjoy being having LMS be a part of our local music scene, being a part of good things that are happening in our city in Seattle.
mhm,
And um, it's I want to be able to build that community, and it's a lot of where I want to be able to build a family and for local music to be a family and to stick
mhm.
around and us all support each other.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And if I hadn't have gotten in with Ryan, that's probably the gear I would have taken the Route 66 country music towards.
Yeah,
The more interviews that I did, the more my name got out there, then the
yeah,
more things that I could do, just like you're
yeah,
doing.
yeah.
Um, but
You're
then,
just on the cusp of that right now.
look, you'll get there. I have no doubt that you'll get there. But it's just funny how it turned around. I mean, I started out, I did an interview with Ryan, and then we would talk back and forth a little bit because he had like some ideas about when live music started back. And he had asked me a question about it. And I was like, sure, I'd be into that. And then when I did the virtual roundtable with Lizzie, Ryan was on again. And then we just had another conversation. I just kind of like jokingly said to him, I was like, you need me to do your scheduling for you or something like that. I made some sort of, LOL comment to him.
Yeah.
And that struck a impromptu interview, so to speak. Probably the weirdest interview I've ever had, but he basically was like, okay, what could you bring to the table for my team? And I just told him, and here I am. And
That's so cool.
it's just now starting, but it's going to be a fun ride.
That's
It's going to be
awesome.
fun. And like I've told him, I'm in it wherever it
He's
takes.
such a good artist too, and
He
so
is.
humble. Just, I had so much fun with him when I interviewed him. He was just so cool.
Oh yeah, yeah. And there have been so many comments about that interview in particular between the two of you. I think your personality just like brought his personality out because he can be really
Thank you.
quiet because he's extremely focused. He is
Yeah.
extremely focused in his music and
Yeah.
his writing. And so sometimes he's like Mr. Serious, but like your personality just really brought his personality out and he had such a good time. It
That's
was,
awesome.
yeah,
Yeah,
it was
I
so much
too
fun.
got a lot of messages after that,
Yeah.
and people were just praising that too. And I don't usually get messages after them. You know, people usually will be like, "Oh, you should interview this person," is usually what I get. But yeah,
Yeah.
that one in particular, people definitely had something to say, and it was really cool. I really appreciated everybody that
Oh, yeah.
reached out and said all the nice things they said. It was really cool.
Yeah, it's always great when that happens. It kinda just it validates what we're doing, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, it does. And it's nice when someone reaches and I know you have a lot. I'm just now starting to have people reach out to me to want to be on my show. And
Yeah.
it's nice when you're not having to do all the reaching out
All
anymore.
of it.
People are contacting
Yeah.
you, you're like, "Okay, I'm doing something good here."
Yeah. I used to spend hours. I mean, my friends can tell you, I would spend hours researching people
Oh, yeah.
to interview. And, you know, you get to one person and it leads you to another, to another, to another. It's this rabbit hole you get in. And
Yeah.
so yeah, it can be kind of daunting because that takes so much time to do. But yeah, now I'm for these live sessions I've been doing, it's definitely been a lot easier. People have been reaching out to me.
Mhm.
I reach out to the people I've already had on. I also try and do new people and kind of I also do a little bit of research and look for people as well. But it's it's definitely gotten to a point where people kind of know who I am now, so
Yeah.
they're either referred to me or somebody in a band will refer them to me or something like that. So it's been a little bit easier going into to my ninth month I've been doing this now.
Yeah. I know. I love it. I'm just having so much fun with it that,
Yeah, me too.
I can't wait to see, what the next chapter is. It
Yeah, I love
it's
it.
just so much fun.
Yeah.
Um, all right, let's see some of our questions here. Because you've got 2 interviews when we get done, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I gotta pay attention to our timeline here. Um, all right, what is your favorite genre of music? 'Cause you're
um
tricky because you interview
yeah,
all all kinds.
everybody. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely have to say that I would probably say I stick more lean now more towards country.
Mm,
But I do listen to a lot of pop too, like folk and pop, I would say.
okay.
Indie, a little indie.
Is it now what kind of music did you grow up listening to? Has it changed?
Classic rock, like Def Leppard and Boston and uh yeah, my parents were really into classic rock, so I grew up listening to them. I also was raised by my like grandparents too, and my grandpa loved like Alan Jackson and Elvis Presley, and you know they're of the generation before our parents, so you know I grew up on a lot of older music.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I did too. Um, definitely country is my favorite,
Yeah,
um, which is weird because as a child, I hated it.
yeah, I did
Hated
not
country
like
music.
it at all. Yeah,
Well, my dad he liked country, but he really loved, still does, bluegrass.
mm.
So I
I can't
hated
get into
bluegrass, hated country, and my mom liked the oldies, like 60s and beach music,
yeah,
like, the Commodores, Temptations. So
yeah,
I hated that. And
yeah,
me and my sister were classic rock. I mean, we were 70s and 80s babies. So,
yeah,
well, preteen in the 70s, teenagers in the 80s.
Yeah.
So the classic rock, AC/DC, Def Leppard, Judas Priest, um, Steve Miller Band, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Prince, even, Michael Jackson, when
Yeah.
MTV
Yeah.
first came out and it was really MTV.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was where we were. But then it's funny now because now I love beach music. I love oldies. I mean, I love the Commodores and Temptations. I love bluegrass. And obviously I love country. So
Yeah.
it like came full circle.
Yeah. For me, it started. My best friend is the drummer of Dakota Poorman, and it started
Shout
there. Like
out
I
for
just
Dakota.
shout out Dakota. So I just, I started going to their shows, and Dakota kind of led me into country music and just kind of, I mean, I grew up with like Shania Twain and the older women, Reba and
Yeah.
Trisha Yearwood and stuff. So, that was kind of your pop country, I guess, or the Taylor Swift of the time.
Yeah.
And so I did like them, but I wasn't as big as I am now. Now you'll find me, at a Darren Jones or Lowdown Drifters or something like a country show more than likely than you will anything else. But yeah,
Oh yeah.
I listen to the radio. If I listen to the radio, it's the country station here. So,
Oh yeah, for sure. That's what I was telling when I interviewed Dan earlier. I was telling him, if you look at my Spotify, it it's crazy because it goes from one end of the spectrum all the way to the other end of the spectrum. And then, but my husband is completely, he's rap and hip hop, and you would never think that when you meet him, but yeah. But I have made him appreciate country music. So he'll listen to that. And then our youngest son that's still at home, he's more into pop.
Yeah.
So like, Taylor Swift, that kind current pop. But so I like it all. I'm just like, whatever. It's why I love
all over the place.
I love Sirius Radio because I have like all kinds of different stations programmed in my car. Crazy. So what's your favorite concert that you've ever been to?
So I have counted every concert I've ever been to, and I've been to 462 concerts in my life since I was 7 years old.
Oh my God. Okay. I have not been to that many. Do you remember your very first one?
Yeah. It was New Kids on the Block. I was 7.
Oh, cool.
In 1989.
My first was Kenny Rogers.
Wow. Yeah.
I was probably like 10 years old.
3? Did you say 3?
10.
10. Oh, 10.
Yeah, it's probably somewhere around 10.
Yeah. Yeah. I was 7 and we went to this with my mom. And I was sitting on top of this guy's shoulders for it because we were on the floor. And I just remember like screaming at Jordan Knight. He's like the lead singer of it. And he was my favorite. And so I remember I had his Barbie doll I had brought with me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was just, I was that kid. It did not get any better. It progressed into me just continuing to be that crazy of a fan the rest of my life.
Oh, that's crazy. Okay, so of the 400 and something, oh my God, how do you pick a favorite?
I can honestly say my most favorite I think I've ever seen. I mean, who puts on a good show would have to be Cher. Like, she definitely gives you a show.
Mm-hmm.
I would say the most enjoyable and I have the most fun at are Fall Out Boy or Hanson. They're both my very favorite bands I have. And so, but I would have to say probably front row at Hanson and being kind of, I've had a couple drinks and it was the best time I had ever had.
Now, have you noticed that if you ever go to a concert and you're like front row or up close, you don't ever want to be at another one where you're like way back?
Yeah, never.
That ruins it for you.
It ruins it. I I can honestly say I've been for a good majority of those, I've been front row, and it's hard for me when I went to um I went to a Ed Sheeran concert, and we were
Mm.
all the way in the back, right? You know, nosebleed, very last one up high. And I was like, man, I've never been this far away from a stage before. Like, I was like, it's fine, I'll be great. We can hear him, you know, whatever. And then you realize he's about this big, and you're like, yeah, this is not as good as being up front. And
Yeah.
luckily for us, it was my birthday, and luckily for us, the security guard was walking by, and oh, how do I all of a sudden I'm yawning. He was walking by, and uh he was like, hey, I have 2 tickets if you guys want to go up front. And I was like, yes. So he just Ed Sheeran was giving them out to people that were in the nosebleeds, and we just happened to be in the right place at the right time. And
Oh, wow.
so I experienced half of it with that and half of it up front. It was awesome.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
All right, mine is gonna be I can't pick a favorite. It's gonna be 3,
Okay.
kind of 4, and I'll tell you why. Completely different genres.
Okay.
So the first one that I went to that I had like I was in the second row. So that was the closest I'd ever been. With Michael Bolton. Oh my. And when he sang When a Man Loves a Woman, he was looking straight at me. Mm. He was singing to me.
Oh my god.
At one
That's so
point at the
good.
concert, it was me and my friend that we went. And at one point, they, you know how they always have the security guards right up at the stage and then the chairs. Don't laugh at me. Well, they let us come up to the stage. Look, I went fangirl crazy, okay, because they let us come right up to the stage.
Yeah.
I about knocked the woman over in front of me to get up to the stage because I was going to be right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, there happened to be a chair right there that the security guard had been, you know, it was there for him to sit in if he wanted to. Let me tell you what this girl did. I stood in that chair. I'm short, so I needed to have, you know, a height advantage.
Yeah.
I stood in that chair. I lie you not. If Michael had reached out, he could have touched my hand. That's how close I was to him.
Wow.
So that's why I say he was singing to me.
I mean, if
that's
he was
my
right
story.
there, yeah.
That's my story.
Yeah, that's your story, and I would stick to it if I was you too.
Yes. I mean,
That's
you
what
know.
happened with Mia Hansen, the last Hansen show. Taylor Hansen walked right up to me, and I got to touch his hand, and I was like, this is heaven.
Yeah, right.
Sweat falling on me and everything. I'm like, yep, just give it all to me.
Exactly, I know. All right, now my next one, like I said, let's go to the opposite end of the spectrum here.
Okay.
AC/DC.
Oh.
They freaking rock.
Wow.
Oh
I saw
my
Kiss
gosh.
once. They were pretty good too.
Me and my sister went to this one. We had the most killer seats. You know how a lot of the musicians make a T out of their stage?
Yeah.
So we were sitting right here beside the T. We had like front row on the side.
Yeah.
We were like 10 rows back from this part of the stage, but we were like right here.
Yeah.
Oh my, that was epic. Great concert. Great.
AC/DC. I kind of imagine them being kind of like Kiss, though. Like, have you ever been to a Kiss concert?
Like who?
Kiss.
Oh, I've seen Kiss in concert too.
Yeah. Are they kind of like them?
They're rowdy. They're fun. Yeah. They know how to put on a show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Both of them totally awesome. But AC/DC just a little bit above Kiss.
Wow. Okay.
And I mean, I love Kiss. I'm like a Paul Stanley freak. Yeah. But still, AC/DC a little bit ahead. Just, yeah. All right. Now we got to go to country.
Yeah.
Shocker that I'm not saying Tim McGraw, even though I have seen him and he was great.
I was totally to guess that too.
No. the new Tim McGraw is Kane Brown.
Ah, yes.
I have seen him twice. He puts on a great show. His voice is just as good in person as on radio.
Yeah.
And now the second time I saw him, he had Granger Smith open up for him.
Wow. Okay.
Granger Smith is so not recognized enough. That man is fantastic. Fantastic. He's just amazing. He puts on a great show. And I'm like, okay, Granger could have been headlining this just as well as Kane.
That's Kane. Yeah. Kane is awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's how good both of them were. But so anyway,
I've only been to one country, unless Dakota counts or any of the local bands count. I've only been to one like major country concert, and it was Old Dominion, Thomas Rhett, and Kenny Chesney.
Mm.
And that was pretty good. I went for Thomas Rhett because I love Thomas Rhett, and I wanted him to sing Craving You.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I went for. I was like, I'm gonna hear it live. And so
yeah, you picked well for only one country concert. That's a good one that you picked.
For sure.
All right, let's see. Let's see. Okay, on the same note.
Mm-hmm.
Well, sort of, kind of. I just assume it's going to be some musician that, well, I know my answer. So during this quarantine, all right, I've been quarantined with my husband and my son. I'm not sure who you've been quarantined with, but if you could have your pick of who to be quarantined with, other than your significant other, who would it be?
Oh, I know who I'd want, but I don't know if I can say it.
It's our show. Say whatever you want to. But if it's what I'm thinking, you might not better say that.
Yeah, I don't think I want to say who I really want. I'll go with somebody else.
Go for your backup.
Yeah, my backup would probably be more than likely Taylor Hanson.
Okay.
Because I would love to just listen to him sing every single day.
Yeah, really.
Like for every moment of the day. Like
well, see, I can answer this safely without my husband even getting the slightest bit upset about it, because he knows, and I've told him, there's only a couple of people in this world he would have to worry about me cheating on him with. Tim McGraw.
Yeah, I figured.
I mean, you know, that would just be a horrible quarantine. I don't know how it would survive.
Right. I definitely, yeah. I mean, if it was, here's a different question. Of the people you know, like your friends or you know, even family maybe, other than your husband and your kids, who would you choose?
Oh God.
Not somebody famous.
Not somebody famous.
Yeah.
Not even remotely famous like the people we interview.
It could be a local artist if you wanted to.
Oh no, I can't name one of them. Yeah, no, I can't name one of them because they might hear about it.
Yeah.
Oh God.
As I say, I could give you the option, but I wouldn't. I'm not going to.
Yeah, no. They might hear about it. Other than my husband and son, if I could be quarantined with somebody.
Yeah.
My grandma.
Like immediate family, or you know, like that. Grandma, your grandma.
My grandma.
That's a good choice.
Because she's in a nursing home all by herself, and none of us can go see her.
Yeah.
And that's sad. It breaks my heart.
I probably would choose my best friend, Katie. For sure. Or my other best friend, Jessie. Yeah. That's probably where I would go.
Yeah, and if I didn't go the family route, I would have to probably, if I didn't, but I mean, this person is like family to me too, is my best friend Marsha or Lizzie, just because Lizzie's freaking hilarious.
Yeah.
So I would still have the music and then fun times because
Yeah.
Lizzie's a nut. So yeah, if I didn't go the family route, it would be my friend Marsha or Lizzie.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
what I was thinking, is it you'd want somebody fun, like
Yeah. Oh yeah. It'd have to be
Yeah.
fun. Yeah.
And both of them have kids that are hilarious, so I think that would be part of it too.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Okay, let's see. Oh, this was gonna be a fun one. What's your favorite soundtrack from a movie?
Okay, I think instrumental wise is probably Avatar. That one just has just the most amazing, and Lord of the Rings does too, but I think Avatar's probably the most. If we're talking like music to sing to, probably La La Land like really nails it for me. I really like that one. But yeah, what's yours?
I am gonna make people laugh, and I'm gonna give away my age with this. But you have to admit, it is great to sing along to. Grease.
Yes, that's a
Have
classic.
you ever watched the original Grease movie?
Yes. Yeah. It's one of my favorites. Yeah, for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a classic.
You can't
Okay,
not
but then
skip that.
aside from that, like either Top Gun or Dirty Dancing.
See, Dirty Dancing would have been up on there too. Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure. Yeah,
for sure.
I agree.
And if Patrick Swayze was still alive, I could quarantine with him. Just saying. No, the rest is so.
I would, if we're gonna go for that route, I would do with probably Heath Ledger.
That'd work.
Yeah, he sings just as good.
Yeah, there's a lot of people out there that sing that you don't have a clue, like especially in the movie industry or the
For
acting.
sure. Yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah.
Robert Pattinson. Do you know Robert Pattinson?
I don't think so.
Twilight? No.
Uh-uh.
He sings. His voice is so incredible. Like he's got this raspy country like English thing going on, and it is so cool. Like I love it. It's so amazing.
I hadn't heard that. All right, we only have a few more minutes left, so.
Oh yeah, we do. Yeah.
All right. All right, the question that we always ask everybody else, we have to answer ourselves, of course.
Okay. Yeah.
If you could have dinner with anyone, dead or alive, who would it be and why?
You can go first because I feel like you probably know. I'd have to think for a second. No. Okay.
All right, let's think about that one and answer this one.
Okay.
If you could be any animal, what would it be and why?
Oh, that's easy. An orca, for sure.
What the heck is an orca?
A killer whale.
Oh, a whale. Okay, a whale.
Yeah.
That works.
Yeah, I would be a killer whale. Why? Because they're just like an amazing the musicians that are after me are messaging me. So yeah. Yeah, I would be an orca because they're just they're powerful, they're beautiful, they're majestic, they're incredibly smart, and they're just I don't know. They're my favorite animal. Yeah.
I would be I want to say a horse.
Really?
Just
Okay.
because it's my favorite animal.
Yeah.
But I might actually say a cat.
Yeah, that's totally different.
Yeah. And my reasoning is because cats are sweet and lovable and cuddly, most of them anyway. So I would always be loved and cuddled.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess if I was going domestic, I'd probably be a dog.
Yeah,
If I was gonna go
domestic it would have to be. If I picked a wild animal, let's see. Since you went with the orca, let's see. I'm gonna be a great white shark so I can defend myself against you.
Orcas eat great white sharks, friend.
No, oh, okay. No, I would probably be, honestly, I would probably be like a cheetah.
Ooh, that's a good choice.
Yeah.
The
Yeah. My white,
fastest land
I'm
animal.
staying in the cat family.
Yeah, you're staying in the cat family.
Yep. Okay.
I guess if we go back to the dinner.
Yep, we got to
I
answer
think,
that one and then we're done because you got to go to your peeps.
yeah. I would say probably, yeah, definitely dead or alive. Honest, and people probably not gonna really, honestly, I'd probably want to sit down with Michael Jackson. Like, he's always been just my favorite, like, musician, and I just would love to just sit down and pick his brain on what it's like, and you know, music wise, not all of the drama that happened, but just, music wise.
See, you say that, and I automatically, so I'll answer same musically.
Yeah.
Because we've all got family members that we would think about, obviously.
Yeah.
So if we're
Right,
gonna think about musically, I would probably say Prince.
Oh, yeah, that would be, he's a genius too. My
Yes.
gosh.
For
Yeah.
the same reason, him and Michael Jackson, can you
Yeah.
imagine if they'd ever collaborated together?
That would have been amazing. I'm just saying.
I
That would
know,
have been so
right?
amazing. Oh my god.
But I
would have loved
loved Prince. So there's another soundtrack, Purple Rain.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one too.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. All
It's a
right.
good song too.
We're gonna have to do this again because
Yeah.
we're out of time. You have to go. Sorry, people, we wouldn't be rushed, but Kara has an interview in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we only got like part of the way through our questions. So we need to schedule like part 2 of this.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Let's do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause I don't think
this was really fun.
It was fun. We definitely need to do this again. So we'll schedule part 2. So people, y'all hear that? There will be part 2 coming up of Stacie and Kara. So stay tuned for that announcement. And when you get off here, jump on Instagram, go to the local music scene. Kara's got 2 interviews coming up tonight. Go listen to her.
Yeah, we have Casey Jones and Jaden Luke. So join us.
All right. I will see you there. All right, people. Until tomorrow, y'all have a great night. Stay safe, stay healthy. Peace.
Bye.
Bye.